Hi, this is my response video to Amanda Todd's video and to the comments and the media that's been going on and the things that have just been posted everywhere about the whole situation. First off, I'd like to address the fact that people are posting that she was a coward for killing herself. You have to look in their perspective of how their life was. You know, saying that she was a coward for killing herself, that she should have defended herself, she should have done more. What more can you ask a 15-year-old girl to do? She changed to 4 different schools, moved to 3 different cities. I mean, what more can you do to get away from the things that have been following you since you were 12 years old? Granted, she was 12 years old and showed her breasts online, but you know, there's worse things that have happened. There's mistakes that happen. Things happen, you can't change it, but to criticize and ridicule and belittle someone because of a mistake, it's immoral, it's wrong. I don't know how else to put that for you people out there that don't understand that what you're doing is completely wrong and it's shallow. The fact that nothing was ever done. I did some research on the whole topic of her death. There was a report a year before she killed herself that someone was stalking her and was posting this stuff around her all her school. There was a report of it and there was an investigation, but nothing happened. No one tried to help her. I mean, changed 4 different schools and she went to therapy and she didn't do anything. She became anorexic. She was intimidated, I guess you could say, by the people that were coming down on her for a mistake, a simple mistake. Not everyone's perfect, and you have to accept that. You have to understand that. Like, I'm sure every single one of you, I'm positive every single one of you out there that are watching this video have made a mistake in your life. And it is wrong that there are people out there that are ridiculing her for it. Like, I've seen so many different things brought up about how, oh, these people, they need to get over themselves. Like, they're just being bullied. They need to get over it. They need to face their issues and just get on with life. Yeah, that's one thing that people are taught when they're growing up, is you face what's going on. Like, you face your fears. But when it's whether it's a teenager, whether it's a grown man, which in this case the suspect is supposedly a 30-year-old man. I mean, how do you face that he has followed you around, that he has sent this stuff to everybody you know, everybody you love? You know, how do you stand up to that? You can't just go to his face and say, you know what, this is wrong, because if he's going that far where there are people like that are coming up to you in school, that are coming to your private life and making you feel bad, how do you go up to him? You know, he could be some rapist, some creep that's out there just trying to ruin her life. She was a 15-year-old girl, 12 years old when this happened. How does a grown man, how does any person in this matter go after someone over, you know, showing their breasts online? Yeah, it's wrong. It happens all the time, though. It shouldn't have been taken that far. It never should have even been brought up. You know, if you see something like that, you take it to the police. Like, you take those pictures that you get, that you receive, that you see on other people's phones, you report that. You don't share them with everybody to see, because that's something that happens in their personal life, and it has nothing to do with the people that are around them if they're not involved in it. The other thing, I think our law needs to grasp the fact that, you know, teenagers, young adolescent, they need more protection. You know, in the workplace, there's things that protect the co-workers, that, you know, someone can't come walk up to you and just punch you in the face because they saw a picture of you. They can't do that because there are laws to protect it. But in school, there's nothing at all to protect us adolescent, us youth that are in schools that have to deal with all these people tormenting us and stuff. It's, well, teachers will be like, well, I was in the hallway, I didn't see it. Well, okay, there needs to be something done about this. There's no law out there saying, you can't, like, there's rules in the school handbook and school rules, like, you can't just walk up and punch someone, but it happens. There's nothing to protect you from it. And it's wrong that people are taken advantage of online, and they are belittled online, and all they get is a suspension for it. I mean, a 1-day suspension, if that. That's ridiculous. It just boggles me how nothing is done. And then the people who are being harassed, that are being made fun of, that are being belittled, it's them that gets in trouble. Like, I myself, I've been involved in this. I had 105 comments of 9 different people telling me, you're better off dead, you're this, you're that. Like, and I got in trouble because I commented defending myself. I think it is wrong that the people who are being tormented, they're the ones who get in trouble. They're the ones who made fun of even more because they try to get help. I don't understand the mentality of the youth these days. Not only the youth, but of the world these days. We're supposed to be about peace and harmony and being there for people. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. We all pretty much have the same lives. Like, we might not have the exact same, living conditions or private life, but we should all be brought up the same way. We should all, have the same morals, that you don't ridicule someone. Like, okay, if you feel that utterly low and hurt, and, you feel your life is that bad, and you think bullying is going to make it any better, why would you ever want to make someone else feel that way? I don't understand that. Like, if you feel so shallow, so hurt, how could you ever, in a million years, wish that upon someone else? If you feel in your heart like it'll make me a better person because I can make someone else feel low, you are mistaken. That makes you worthless. In my eyes, you are worthless. There's no words that can describe the amount of hurt you can bring onto someone. You don't know their personal life. You don't know if they're abused at home, if no one's there for them. You don't know the things they've gone through in their life. You have to take into consideration that the slightest phrase can destroy a person's day. It can hurt them. It could ruin their lives. It could cause you to commit suicide, like Amanda Todd. But there's nothing being done about it. There's no one's understanding the fact that this stuff is happening, and it's ridiculous. It's the epitome of neglect on society, on our nation, for not doing anything, for Jesus' sake, the freaking world, for not changing how we're bringing ourselves about in this world. This is the #1 cause of teenage death right now, because it's online, it's texting, it's phone calls, it's everywhere. It's walking down the hallways in schools, walking down the streets, where people are just belittling others and just taunting them, and making them feel worthless, making them feel like they shouldn't be in this world, like life would be better without them. And I don't understand why nothing's ever done about it. I really don't. The other thing is, she should have defended herself. She should have done more. She was in front of her school, and there were 50 students from this current school that watched her get beat up by people from wherever, her old school or wherever they were from, that drew her out of school and did this to her. And not a single person, not a faculty member, no one did anything to stop her from being battered and abused and tormented in front of everybody. It takes one freaking person to start the bullying, and everyone follows in. why didn't one person stand up and say this is wrong so other people would follow? And even if they didn't, you know, you may be made fun of for sticking up for the skank, the town slut, but you know what? You're a better person. You are a terrific person. Who cares if people make fun of you? You're standing up for what you believe in, and that's all that should matter. It shouldn't matter that people are going to make fun of you. At least you're doing what's right. At least you're trying to make this world a better place. It doesn't, does it not have an effect on your brain that what those people are doing are wrong, and you watch it happen, and then afterward, oh, I feel bad, blah, 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 this should happen, this should happen. You were there and you didn't do anything. So don't sit there and say, you know, this should have happened. She should have defended herself. You could have defended her. You could have helped her. You could have saved her freaking life. But instead, you went along with what everyone else is doing because that's the cool thing now. Because no one has the courage to stand up and say, like, I would rather live in a world where I'm standing up for what I believe than doing what everyone else is doing. And it's ridiculous that nothing ever is done. You know, there are people out there that they just have terrible lives, and they have the mindset, you know, like they can get through this. They have other things to look forward to. But there are people out there who have nothing, who, you know, they live in foster care. They live on the streets because my parent lost their job, or because blah, 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 this, that, or the other thing. There's so many things that go on that you just don't know. And until you live their life, you don't have any room to say anything. You have no room whatsoever to open your mouth to say filthy and disgusting things about people. That, you know, oh, they're sluts, they're skanks. Unless you're there to witness these things happen, to see this girl or that guy sleeping with that person, you know, you can't say, oh, well, they did this. I mean, you can, but you don't know if it's true, so why would you go out there and start all that? Why? That's like, okay, say you're a virgin and, you know, you haven't slept with anyone, but you're seen with a guy, so you're sleeping with them, you're a slut. That's wrong. You can't just judge someone's life because you see things. You have to know the full story before you open your mouth. And even if you do know the full story, it's not your business to go around telling. And for those people who, you know, oh, I don't like her, I don't, blah, 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 you want to talk about them. That's all well and good, but, you know, if you have nothing nice to say, keep it to yourself. It's that simple. And, you know, if someone doesn't like you, that is fine. You are always going to have people in your life that do not like you. And that is understandable. It is their right not to like you. Why would you care? Why would you care? You know, you're going to go on and do bigger, better things. Let them say what they want. You're the better person for not saying anything. So, why torment someone? You don't like them? Let it be. It doesn't matter. You think this and that and the other thing. It's fine. Let it be. Don't sit there and bring up all this stuff that you don't even know is true. And even if it is true, let it go. It's their life. It has nothing to do with you. It's none of your concern. Let them live their life. They make mistakes. Okay, it's in the past. You let it go. For a 15-year-old girl to be abused mentally, physically, I mean everything, that is wrong. No matter what the age is, whether you're 80, you're 40, you're 12 years old, 15 years old, there's no excuse whatsoever. And for you to think that calling someone out for making someone else feel bad, that is going to make you any better, you need a reality check, because it does not make you any better. It doesn't prove that you're bigger, better, stronger, faster. It doesn't do anything. It's disgusting. It's revolting that anyone would even think that. And, you know, for those people out there, like the other day I heard in the hallway, she should have defended herself. She should have done this. She should have done that. Until you're in her shoes, which I doubt anyone will ever be in that situation. And if you are, I am deeply sorry. And, you know, it's a terrible situation. But until you're in that position, don't say, well, she should have done this, she should have done that. Because how many people viewed her video about what this guy and what these people did to her? How many times she tried to commit suicide and nothing changed, nothing helped? How do you escape that? Can you honestly, like, explain to me, how can you escape? How can your life move on if people can't let you move on, if they keep bringing it up, keep following you around and sharing this stuff with people? You know, you wanna forget things, forgive and forget. You know, that type of thing that you're taught. So many people have taught their children this, and it is just blown off. It blows me out of the water that these morals that you're taught, you throw them in the trash because, you know, you think you know everything. You think that what you say, what you do, it has no effect on everyone else. It's the responsibility of knowing every little thing you do could affect someone. It's knowing that saying something cruel can diminish a person's day. It can change who a person thinks they are. And I'm speechless on how neglectful people are, that they don't understand, you know, I'm affecting someone's life. I could be the reason someone dies today. Someone very close to me, you know, he killed himself because people, no names, no situation involved that I can name, you know, they told him, you're worthless, you're this, you're that. You know, he couldn't see his son. He was 19 years old, 20 years old when he killed himself. You know, it's the same situation, you know. You don't know what's going on in their life. Why would you say anything like that? There's not enough sympathy in my heart for those of you out there that have to deal with this stuff. And there's not enough words of anger that I can express on how I feel towards those people that are out there doing that. And if you're one of those, you can change the world. Just stop. Be a better person. Don't open your mouth. Just keep to yourself if you have something like that to say. It's not that hard. Unless you don't have morals, you won't understand. But I'm pretty sure each and every one of you out there have morals. You have the knowledge to understand what I'm saying and what you should be getting from this, that mistakes happen. You don't ridicule someone for it. You don't keep dragging it out. You do not need to be out there belittling someone, making them feel like utter crap, like garbage, because you think something. Like, regardless what you think, they're still a human being. They deserve to live a life full of emotion, full of spirit, full of everything that anyone would ever want. But because there are people out there that they want to make people feel little, they want to make them feel worse than what they already may feel, nothing will ever change in this world until people out there understand that. And that's just, it's ridiculous. And I know I may get bad comments on this video, you know, well, you're just taking her side because blah blah blah. I'm not taking anyone's side. This is my belief. This is how I feel towards this. And if you don't like it, don't watch my video. Don't comment on it. Don't do anything. Just keep your mouth closed, because frankly, I don't give a rat's ass. And excuse my language, but that's ridiculous. This is something that shouldn't even be discussed. We're civilized people. You know, you look back 50, 60 years ago, this type of thing didn't happen. And if it did, it was dealt with. And now nothing's being dealt with, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I'm in distraught over it, you know. It wasn't me that it happened to. It's not me in that position that, you know, life would be better without me, you know, all this stuff would stop. No, like, I understand it's not me. I don't understand how they felt, but I guess it's because I have morals and I have empathy and all the emotions that people should have that obviously they're neglecting to use if they do have. So Take this into consideration, please, and do what you will with this.